All right, I want to go over this price action strategy using the Lux Algo price action concepts. This is a really powerful indicator because you can use it for different levels of institutional values, where potential stop hunts would be, and you could be on the side of the markets that the big banks and the big institutions are using. And Lux Algo is going to help you guide yourself and get yourself some great setups. So going right into it, you have a waning wedge, a falling wedge. And with this, usually that calls for an uptrending move. Now for you definitely would try to figure out, I guess, where you would take your move on that. Like with this example, you'll be looking for a buy, but you don't know how far this pattern is going to go. With this price being at this point, what I like about the price action concepts is it's going to give you these discount and premium values. Seeing in this zone here, you have a discount because you want to buy low and you want to sell high. So you're buying price at a discount. The discount percentage at this particular point in time is 91%. So this area combining with this falling wedge is giving you a great area for price. On top of that, it does do the highs and the lows of day, and I also have it set for Monday high, Monday low for the month, the beginning of the week. Between those 2 points, this little area here is a really big area where you could potentially look for your buy entry. And what I like about this area is that at the close of this candle, you get the X forming right here, and this forms on close. So you get that X pattern. What that X means is that the pattern may be completing. It's a confirmation of rejection, and it's a confirmation that the pattern may be completing at that particular candle. That gives you a confirmation to go higher. So this is what I would probably do in this scenario. So with this chart here, you're looking at your premium level, and I would put my stop loss below that premium level. You can put it here. If you're a little bit more generous with your stop loss, you can put it below this order block because it also gives you the order blocks, which that hasn't been fulfilled either. So that's 2 levels of barrier that you can have. And then as far as TP1, TP2, you can use these institutional areas for levels where you could take profits. So one is the equilibrium area. So just the equilibrium area is going to give you a 2.6 to 1 reward to risk, which is excellent. And this is something that price action concepts of Lux Algo does. TP2 could be the next order block up, and this is 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 trade with TP2, and then TP3 could be your premium area or Monday high. You see, you got your high of day, you got your premium area. So there's multiple levels where you can do a TP3, and that would have been a 5 to 1 reward to risk. So excellent trade. So going right into it, let's say you take that trade and you get it, it goes right into that order block. Look how special that is. It goes right into that order block, right at the bottom of that order block, and gets your first reaction off of there. Let it play out some more. Let's say, you won that trade, but now you see that you have a imbalance that is formed. Not only the imbalance is formed, but let's look at this. What I teach when it comes to institutional trading is that you want to look at 50% to 75% of that imbalance. So let's mark this up. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that to my imbalance candle. So you have your 50%. I actually did that upside down. 50% to 71. There we go. That's correct. You want to draw it because you're looking for a buy. You want to draw from the bottom of the imbalance to the top. And then it still didn't come up. I think I have it reversed. So let's just invert it here just to make it easier. So now we have that area. Look at where the 50% lines up right at Monday's low. It lines up on Monday's low. So I could be looking, see, you got that reaction. I could be looking for a second entry in this area here. See how that breaks out. A second entry in this area here. We're going to delete this so we can just see the charts, and we're going to let it play out. So you get that entry. Let's see how it closes. You get that entry right when it closes, and as you can see, it replayed too fast, but it closes right at that Monday low. Closes on literally on the pip. So on close, that would have been my trade there. That would have been my trade right here. Would have put right on close. And what I would have done for this one is I would have had my stop loss below the low of this candle, because that was a great rejection candle. It's below Monday's low, and it completes that imbalance there. So that's a great area for a stop loss. Now, even though we had a couple touches right at that order block, you still have that order block in play because it didn't breach that order block. So it's still a magnet to that. So that would have been my first take profit, right into 50% of that order block. So that way, I'm not being too greedy. So that would have been my first take profit. And my second take profit would have been at the premium level or the Monday high. So that one would have been a 3.3 to 1. And then Monday high or premium level would have been a 3.5 to 1 trade. And that's really all I'm looking for at that particular time, because, Lux Algo, let's see if it gives us any further levels. So there's no further levels in play here as far as order blocks. There's space, but there's nothing to really base off a take profit from, unless you're just doing pure reward to risk and say you just want to get a 7 to 1 or a 6 to 1 reward to risk on this trade, and you just calculate it the way you like to calculate it. But as far as reading the charts, looking at levels that are defined levels that you can work off of, this is what's available. So as we let that play out, it hits it on the next candle. It goes straight into Monday's high. If you don't think that there's something between Monday high and Monday low by now, then you should definitely look into it. I'll make more videos on it so you can understand this institutional concept. But this is combining the order blocks, this is combining the Lux Algo. Everything you see right here is created by Lux Algo. I didn't even get into the price action concepts and market structure, because you had your change of character, which would have been a great confirmation to look for another buy. This one would have been maybe a buy against trend, but with this change of character happening here, which means a change of market structure direction, that would have been a safer trade, the second trade. But whichever trade you took, those were both great areas in the market. And then, we let it play out. It goes right into that order block, that 50% of the order block. You would have hit your TP2, and then that would have been it there. I wouldn't have looked for anything higher. It did go into this small order block here. This is why Lux Algo Premium is so deadly. I've never seen anything like this. I've tried so many times to find something to emulate the way I trade. This is kind of the way I look at trading, and Lux Algo is literally created visually. Everything that I think about when it comes to just marking up the charts. So now I really don't have to mark up the charts. I could just look at Lux Algo and put my settings up, and you can literally have it exactly like this. Now, if you want to know how you set this up, I'm gonna go backtrack a little bit here. And with the Lux Algo price action concepts, so I use the multi-time frame scanner, the equal highs and lows. I have that checked out for the order blocks, and then mitigation, I leave that as a default. I do the patterns because it gave me an idea of where to go in the market, and liquidity grabs are going to be huge. That's where the discount and premium comes from. So you got your discount and premium, and you got your fair value zones here. You can check that if you want to see more imbalance. So say if I would have placed that, you would have saw that imbalance point from earlier. But I could see imbalance, so I don't really play with it. And then the other thing is you do have the accumulation distribution. I leave that off, but I do let the consolidation happen. But the main thing is setting up the daily highs and lows and Monday's highs and lows. Those are the ones I play with. You can do weekly and monthly. That's if you're more swing trading. I don't swing trade, so I just pay attention to daily and Monday. But if you're a swing trader, definitely pay attention to your weekly and monthly highs and lows, because those are going to be very important points to play off of, especially on an institutional level. So that's how you set up the price action concepts. And then with Lux Algo Premium, I keep it simple. I go in and I will set up just the signal sensitivity. I leave that at 12. I use it when it's necessary. Sometimes I like to make it a little bit more sensitive and go to 9. But when I'm just looking at the price action concepts area, I'm not really paying too much attention to it. If you like to do the candle coloring, you can. I don't use it myself. And if you're trying to figure out trend, I used to use the trend catcher and trend tracer to figure out trend, but now all I do is I pay attention to the dashboard. So you have your change of character for market structure trend, and then you have your trend strength level for the data side of it. So like your oscillators, your momentum, that's what this is reading, is that, and your candle flow. But this is reading your market structure. So between those two different things, I just pay attention to that for trend, so I know which way to go. The other thing too is you want to trade when it's some volatility. So Lux is going to give you volatility metrics to trade from, and I like to do medium or high. If there's a lot of volatility in the market, or medium volatility, then that gives me room because you get paid off of how much the market moves. So if you pay attention to that, then you're going to be trading with institutional levels that you see here using Lux Algo, and when the market is moving. So if you have that combination, then you could really have a strong point of entry. So I just wanted to briefly go over the strategy. I'm going to teach, there's about 3 different concepts that I went over as far as Monday high, high of day, the imbalance and order blocks, and then patterns. So those are 3 different things, patterns and premiums. So with that, I'll teach an individual video for each of those 3 things. So that way you can understand this mindset that you're playing off of. Because when you're doing institutional, it's not just about looking at just one particular setup. There may be a couple things going on. And before this, it was hard to figure out, okay, where was Monday's high? Like, you have to go and mark this stuff up. Like, everything you see here, you have to mark it up. Like, you may not have really would have labeled break of structures and change of characters, but you would have paid attention to with your eyes. With Lux Algo, you don't have to do that. That's why I love this software so much. So if you want access to it, there's going to be a link in the description, and I hope to see you on the next video.